Well, hello everyone. This is Carrie Beck with How to Homeschool My Child and Life Skills Leadership Summit. This is our kickoff. I'm starting a little bit early, so those of you that are early birds, you can go ahead and join in. We're going to talk just for a few minutes. We're going to start right on time at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. I got to remember all my time zones. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Mountain, and 5 o'clock Pacific. I don't know what is wrong with my website, but my thing, so I can't read comments. This is not good because I am giving away something based on comments. So I may have to depend on Megan, or we may have to award the award later. But I'm Carrie Beck. What I would like you to do is you are joining in. I wish that I could see your comments. There is something wrong with my Facebook, but if you're joining in, leave a comment and just leave an emoji, or if you don't do emojis, you can write something down about how today or how this weekend has gone, and we will start a little bit of feed right there. I'm going to repeat a few of these a few times just as people are entering, but what I want you to know is we are going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about what that most important quality is, and then we are going to talk about the best ways that you can use and interact and get the most out of Life Skill Leadership Summit. Since I can't read the comments, I'm going to be dependent on my assistant Megan, and I have another little tab, so I may have to go back and forth at messages just in case there are any issues. So as you are joining, and I wish I could read your names, I just hate this. It happened, I was on a live video about an hour ago, and all of a sudden I couldn't read my comments, so I don't know what the problem is. But go ahead and leave a comment. You can tell us how many kids you're homeschooling, but leave an emoji or maybe just one word about how this weekend has gone or how today has gone as well. And we will be starting. Like I said, we are going to be talking. I am giving away an all access pass. If you've already bought it and you win this giveaway, great, you'll just get a refund. But I'm going to give away an all access pass. The way we will determine who gets the all access pass is from the comments. So the more often you comment, the more entries you get. For every comment that you make, you get an entry. Even if you look at someone's emoji and you respond to it, that is a comment. I have to say, I may have to do it after I close this down because I don't know what my problem is, but I can't see the comments. And this has never happened to me before. So I must be doing something wrong. Me and technology and I. Oh, well. Thank goodness you don't have to have all technology to be able to be a leader, to be a homeschool mom, and all those other things. Now, it is 8 o'clock Eastern Time right now. We're going to get started. I'm going to remind everyone about what's going on, and then we're jumping in because you're here on time, and I'm not going to penalize you because you are here on time. I am going to take a quick check at my messenger just in case Megan wrote me. Okay. So, a few things. Leave a comment here, put an emoji about how today or this weekend has gone for you, and then leave a comment throughout. If you have any questions about the summit or about what I'm talking about, put them in the comment section. Like I said, I may not be able to see them. Megan's my assistant, and hopefully she will be checking those for me. But if I don't answer your question here, I will post it here in the group. You don't have to be a part of the group to be able to get the summit, obviously, but I just want you to know that I haven't ignored you. I'm having a major technical issue, and I continue to try to click comments, but it's not working. We will give one all access pass away to someone based on the comments. So as many times as you comment, every time is an entry, even if it's responding to someone else. We are going to get started. I am so excited. You don't know this. Let me go ahead and first introduce my family. I forgot to bring my card. It is somewhere right here, and I'm dropping things. But I want to introduce my family. Some of you know me. Some of you don't. I actually have a brand new Christmas card. So these are my grandkids. I have 3 kids of my own. 2 are married, and I have 3 grandchildren, and 1 on the way, due in August. Yay. We homeschooled for 10 years, if you didn't know that. We homeschooled all 3 kids for 10 years. And before that, they went to a private school. at the very end, Hunter, my youngest, finished his sophomore, junior, and senior year in a private Christian school, which was actually really good for him. Mostly male teachers, male coaches. It was a good decision. I wasn't sure. That's a whole nother story. But I just say that because, yes, homeschooling is awesome. I love it. But we need to depend on God every year for what we make a decision of what we're going to do. These are I'm Gigi to each one of these. This is Faith. And yeah, Faith and Elizabeth, and they are 6, and she'll be 4 in a couple weeks. This is Landry. She'll be 2 in a couple of months. And then this is a small picture. I wished I didn't really think about it when I had it, but this is my family. I'll get a little bit closer just so you know. So Ashley is right here. She is married to Jesse, and they have Faith and Elizabeth. Gentry is right here in the middle. She is married to Andrew, and they have little baby Landry, who's not a baby. She's 2. Hunter's right there in the middle between Yogi and Gentry. He's the baby of the family. He's not married. Yep, no kids, no nothing, but he's tight with Jesus. And so anyway, I am grateful that all my kids are walking with Jesus right now. Now, I would like to introduce my kids to you because I will mention them along the way, and that way you have a picture. Throughout the rest of the week, each morning at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, I will be coming on and talking about the topic for that day or some topic about leadership and life skills. And I will probably mention my kids because they were my guinea pigs, and sometimes we did things right and sometimes we made some mistakes. So let's talk about leadership because some of you may be wondering, why should I even be concerned about leadership? Because, my kid's not going to be CEO. They're not going to be president of the United States. Does it really matter? I'm going to talk about that now in a minute. Or some of you are saying, I cannot even cover the curriculum right now. How in the world am I ever going to find time to deal with life skills and leadership? I can't even figure out how to do what I'm doing. Some of you all have already asked that question. There was a post earlier today about what's your biggest question. And if you write a question there, it will get bumped to the top and we will share it this whole week. We'll be sharing some of those questions so that our expert speakers at the summit and some of our veteran homeschoolers can help you with those areas. So some of you are probably saying, I feel so inadequate. I just don't know what to do. I don't even know how to teach that life skill. Money management. I'm a catastrophe at managing my money. How do I do that? So we need to sort of think about that. But when we talk about leadership, I think one thing we need to do is take a step back and think. Leaders are a leader over an organization. A marriage is a 2-person organization. A family is a 3, 4, or 5, or 10-person organization. We have organizations that are churches, schools. A homeschool is an organization and someone is leading that. Government. Are those organizations that you're a part of or that your kids will be a part of, are they healthy or dysfunctional? Is the leader healthy or dysfunctional? You are a leader right now because if you are homeschooling, if you have children, and I'm going to guess that if you are here on this broadcast, this live video, then you have kids and you are concerned. So you are leading those kids. I believe that 99% of our children will grow up to be leaders. But we need to take a step back and let's talk about what we mean by leadership. And then I want to finish off with what is the most important quality that we can teach and train and develop in our young kids. So I think too often teachers in public schools, but also homeschool moms, they are just rush, rush, rush. We got to get everything done. We got to get that curriculum done. Check, 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 check. Before the end of the year. And I understand because I can be very productivity oriented. And we need to rethink this. We need to hop off that conveyor belt of just saying, oh, we got to get all these done. It's like a hamster in a wheel or whatever. We got to stop that. And we have got to rethink what is education. What is most important in your homeschool? Just because it's written down in a curriculum doesn't mean it's the most important thing. And I'm going to give you a little clue. For those of you that don't know, I taught 5th grade for 6 years. I never finished a textbook. Let me say that again. I never finished a textbook. And so it is okay to not feel like you don't have to get everything done. I will tell you that Ashley, she never finished Algebra 2, but she got a college degree in 2 years, and we moved back to Texas. Texas had an opportunity for her to get a teaching certificate. She went and got a teaching certificate in a year, and then she went and spent 2 years teaching at-risk kids in public education until she got pregnant and had kids of her own. I say that because too often we are so narrow focused. We are just following what everyone, who all those people up there are telling us we need to do, instead of going to God and saying, what is best for my kids? So rethinking what we are. I think instead of rush to check off that curriculum checkbox, we need to think of ourselves as leaders with the responsibility to serve our kids and assist them in developing character, leadership, and life skills. That takes a whole paradigm shift. Again, we need to change what's going on here. And that's one thing that will be going on this week. You might, I hope tomorrow on our Life Skills Leadership Summit, our leadership track, we have 2 tracks. We have the leadership track and the life skills, and I'll go over that at the end. But our leadership track is all about leadership education. There's I'm not going to go through all of them because I can't remember all the titles, but I remember 2 of them, and they're both by men. One is the how and the what and the how of leadership education, and the other one is about raising our sons to be godly leaders. And there are other ones about biblical leadership. There's other ones, I just don't have all of them in my head. But all of those will help you with this mindset. And I think that's what's important as well. We need to change our paradigm. We need to quit following the public education, and we need to jump off that conveyor belt. What do I mean by conveyor belt? We hop it on station 1 or whatever station your kids are at. We do the same thing for the kids, no matter what their strengths and weaknesses are. And we test them the same way, just doesn't matter strengths or weaknesses. And they get approved and they go to station 2. Same activities as the average, whatever that means, child, tested the same way, moved to station 3, and there are 12 stations. When they're finished with all 12 stations, they get a stamp of approval, and they're sent off to the market, the job market. That's what public education is. It's 12 grades, 12 stations. And so that's what we need to think about again. And we need to, I personally think, and that was something I had to learn about halfway. We homeschooled for 10 years. I discovered leadership education around year 4 or 5, and I really stumbled upon it. And it was a lot of trial and error. And we would like to help you not deal with all that trial and error. That is why these speakers are here to help you, to give you ideas so that you can truly bring your kids up to lead. Now, one thing, I actually have my little notes here. I think this is a really important, I was looking for my tape, really important thing. I read this a month or so ago from Theodore Roosevelt, and he says that to educate a person in mind or academics, but not in morals, is to educate a menace in society. Think about that. If all we're doing is academics and we're not taking care of the whole body, character, leadership skills, life skills, we are developing a menace in society. Did you know that in Nazi Germany, the people that rose up and sort of produced Nazi Germany and Nazism were some of the most educated people in Germany? I was trying to look at my notes. And they were from the refined lands of Nietzsche, Beethoven, Einstein, Mercedes-Benz. Let's just put that up there. And so they did not produce something very good. They were very educated, but not in all of person. Coaches. There are coaches that will win at all cost rather than thinking themselves as mentors, leaders who are developing their young athletes. And that's a disgrace, I think. Churches, too. Churches tend to worry more about the head count and the budget than they think about leading and shepherding their people. Now, I'm not saying this that every coach, every church is like this. I'm just making some general statements about what I have seen personally in certain aspects. So, too often at churches, they say what they think you want to hear instead of saying what you need. So, I believe that a true leader does the right thing. Everything they do is to do the right thing. What does that mean? That means they have character. Now, we are not going to talk about character tonight. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow morning, Monday, 10 o'clock. We have kickoff every morning at 10 o'clock. And I will be talking about character education, and that character is the foundation of leadership. If you have a 3-year-old, you ought to be developing character. If you have a 13-year-old, you need to continue character development. And if they don't have character, godly character, you need to go back and start there, and don't worry about the academics. Character is foundational to your kids' success as adults. So, you know, what about technology and skills and training? We are scientific. We got to teach them all that science. Did you know that there are many of the top 500 Fortune 500 companies that are hiring people based on their character? They hire on character, they train the skill. And I think that's very important, because I think the character, the ability to think, the ability to make wise decisions is so important. The day 5 in our summit will be all about making our kids, encouraging them into independent thinking, independent learning, teaching how to think, and then making wise decisions as well. So that will be a day that you would really want to pop in and do, because leaders can think critically, they can make wise decisions, but it's all based on godly character. And that's what many of these top 500 companies are looking for. So the first thing I would say is leadership development is the same as character development. And we need to realize that those two go hand in hand. Now, the next thing is I'd like to, before I move forward, is talk about a definition of leadership. So let's look at that. Leadership is the skill of influencing people to enthusiastically work towards a common goal with character that inspires confidence. This is James Hunter. I will introduce him to you right now, because he is someone I admire a lot, and someone that put into a book the things that I was thinking. And I will get to it, but he's written a book called The World's Most Powerful Leadership Principle, and that's what we're talking about tonight. So let's talk about this influence. Leadership is really just influencing, and we influence people so that they enthusiastically, and I should put willingly, work towards the goal of the common goal. So let's talk about your family. You are leading your kids. There is a common goal. It may be just that the family unit sticks together and they get along. So we inspire our kids. We influence them to be able to get along. It may be that we want them to follow Jesus. So we influence them to common goal. We're going to all work to walking with Jesus. And we do this all with character that inspires confidence. So you as the parent have character that you're modeling. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm not going to spend a lot of time about character, but my point here is influencing and character. I believe those are two of the biggest aspects of leadership as well. I believe that leadership is not managing. Managers, they do the things right. Leaders do the right things. And so we need to remember that. They will do things and people will follow them, but they don't have that vision. They're not really influencing. They're just getting people to do whatever their job is. And we need to realize that leaders are not bosses, because bosses come with just power. People just follow them because they have power. A true leader leads with authority, and people will follow. Think about a cause that you are really involved in and that you are passionate about that cause. That cause has an influence on you to actually motivate you to probably work with that cause without even getting paid. All right, we're going to talk about a cause in a few minutes, the cause of Unbound and fighting human trafficking. And that is our partner with Life Skills Leadership Summit. And I'll talk a little bit more about this when I finish leadership. But I'm willing to work with them without them even paying me. I have spent years going to El Salvador. Before this year, I would go every month. And I got paid part of the time, but there were years I didn't get paid. I paid my own flight just to go down there and work with those people and influence them to grow closer to Jesus and to get a better education. So I do want to read a quick quote. It may not be too quick, but it's about leadership. Leadership is influencing people to willingly even enthusiastically contribute their hearts, minds, creativity, excellence, and other resources towards mutually beneficial goals. So you as a parent should be leading and encouraging your kids to do this. Now, I'm talking about you as parents. I'm going to talk about the kids in a minute. Leadership is influencing people to commit to the mission. Leadership is influencing people to become the best they are capable of becoming. Accordingly, leadership is not synonymous with management. Leadership is synonymous with influence. So, let me change pages. Herb Kellner, who was the CEO and president of Southwest Airlines, came to a quarter where their budget was like, ugh, they needed to cut back. You know what he did? I mean, I don't know how he got away with this, except he was a great leader and a great influencer. He wrote a memo or a letter or whatever they did back then and asked every employee to cut back $5 a day with whatever they were working with at the company. And he signed it Love, L-U-V. That was Southwest Airlines signature, Love Her. Now, you know, most companies, people would just go, I don't think so. I'm going to do my own thing. But you know what? He was such a fantastic leader and such an influencer that the very next quarter, they had cut back operating expenses 5.6%. That may not sound like much, but you think about $1 billion company times 5.6%. They have just cut back and saved the money that they needed to be able to continue operations. That is a leader that influences. That's the kind of leader I want to be with whomever is underneath me. That was the kind of leader I wanted to be with my kids. Not that I'm going to make them save money, but that influence that he had. Now, John Maxwell is the guru of leadership. If you looked over there in my little bookshelf, you would see a lot of John Maxwell books. And John Maxwell has a great quote that I want to be able to include. And this is, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. That is something I think we need to remember. Let me put that right there. He sums it up. I believe the two aspects, this is it, that we need to remember before we teach our kids the most powerful quality is leadership is character, leadership is influencing as well. So leadership is character and action. I've already talked about character, but we need to realize when our kids leave, are they going to leave better than what they started? Or would they be better off now? Because the true mark of a leader is the people under them leave as a better person. And I wanted my kids to be able to leave our home and have those tools, the real life skills, the leadership skills to move forward. Think about you and your kids. How are you influencing? How are you leading them? Your kids are going to follow your leadership example, and they will sense lead. I can look at my kids. I can look at both my girls. They're moms. They have kids underneath them. I'm watching the way they are developing and building character. Now, it's not just them. It's them and their husbands, just like it was Steve and me. But they are truly building character. I look at Hunter. Hunter has a team that is here in the States that he leads. He has a team offshore. It's, I don't know, Indonesia, Philippines, somewhere over there. And I've listened to him on the phone calls when he works here at the house. And he uses some of the things I'm just going to talk about in a minute, but he is so appreciative of those people. He serves those people. He pays attention to them. He asks questions. He listens to them. Those are qualities of a good leader. Now, what is that most powerful leadership quality? I would like to read a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. No, from Napoleon. And he says, Alexander, Caesar, Charlemagne, and I have founded empires, but on what did we rest the creation of our genius? Upon force. Jesus Christ founded his empire upon love. And at this hour, millions would die for him. That to me speaks volumes. And I meant to bring my Bible. I'm going to look up this verse because I definitely want to read it. And I forgot to have it ahead of time. So my apologies. You're just going to have to wait a second. But at least I remember where it is. Jesus Christ founded his leadership on love. He also says in, there we are, Matthew 23, starting in verse 11. The greatest among you must be a servant. But those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Um, oh, that's it. In Luke, he also talks about he is an example of serving others. And so he is the ultimate example of a servant leader. That to me is the most powerful quality. A servant leader encompasses that love that Napoleon was talking about. A servant leader talks is what is said right here. A servant leader humbles themselves rather than exalts themselves. I look at moms, and you are serving your kids. I look at my girls and they are serving their kids and their family. I look at Hunter. He was chosen to be classroom champion. That meant he played sports as a senior. He had good grades and he was a leader. And so the TV comes out to different kids around the area and interviews a different kid that's nominated every week. And as they were interviewing him, they said, well, how would you describe your leadership? And he said, I see myself as a servant leader. I serve my team. And so I thought, wow, that really encapsulates what I think is the most powerful tool that we can give our kids. That is what this book is all about. The world's most powerful leadership principle, how to become a servant leader. So let's talk about that for a moment. James Hunter in his book says legitimate leadership influence is built upon serving, sacrificing, seeking the greatest good of those being led. Influence does not come because of a title or an army, like the general of the army. Influence is earned. There are no shortcuts. I am sorry, Mom, but there are no shortcuts in raising your kids to be godly. There are no shortcuts in developing their leadership skills. There are no shortcuts in giving them real life skills. It takes a lot of work, but thank goodness most of them are here for 18 years. That is encouraging to me. You've got time to work with them. It does take a lot of time, dedication, a ton of prayer, and hard work. And so what about moms? What is it special about moms? Let's think about this. There was a Super Bowl and there was a $9 million a year player there with a handwritten sign that said, I heart mom. And he's holding it there when the TV spans around and looks, or whatever they do. And then when the TV shows him, he's like, hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. When I was teaching 5th grade, there were many fights on the recess playground over mom. You go out there to figure out what they're arguing and fighting about. She said this about my mama, and she better not say that about my mama. Or he said this about my mama. No one talks about my mama. How come? Because moms serve. And because you are serving your kids. That is the best thing you can do. You are modeling for your kids servant leadership. What more? That is the best influence. And I will say, and I'm going to start crying, and I did not plan this. Servant leadership makes a difference. I've been cleaning out some old boxes and cards that my kids wrote me, and just like, thank you, Mom, for getting up and making breakfast. Thank you, Mom, for doing this, that, or the other. Even at I didn't really mean to start crying. Even at ages 10 or 12, they saw it. Even though they'd bow up at me and they'd argue with me, when it came time to really think about Mom, there was a sweet spot there because I was loving them from my heart. I was building a relationship. Yeah, we had curriculum. We taught them English and math and science, and that's a good thing. But the most important thing you can do that will last your whole lifetime while you're here is building a relationship, is loving your kids. And the coolest thing is this. Martin Luther King says this, and I just love it so much. This Martin Luther King Jr., he says, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. Did you hear that? We don't have to have subject-verb agreement to be able to be a servant. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics and physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. Isn't that awesome? And we can teach our kids to serve one another just by teaching them to serve and to love. So how can we do that? I believe first thing is character, and I know I keep putting it off. That's a whole topic in and of itself. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow morning, about character and the foundation of character and how we need to raise our kids in godly character. But you as mom, you can appreciate your kids. Have you ever written them a card and dropped it in the mail and they get it? And you're like, hey, there's some mail for you. First of all, they're going to be shocked. And then if you've written them a note about how proud you are of them, that's going to touch them and they're going to save that card. Have you ever sent them a text if they have a phone? Just words of encouragement, words that you're praying for them, words out loud to them, being positive, saying thank you to them, noticing the positive things that they have done. Kids hear negative, like, oh, I can't remember the number, but let's say 200 times to every 10 times they hear a negative word, a positive word. I will tell you that last week we had a freeze here. The polar vortex hit Texas right here. Here where I was, it got down to 6. Where my girls were, it got down to 1 and 0. That does not happen in Texas. There was still snow yesterday. They were out without electricity for a couple of days. At least I had a gas stove we could heat up and turn it on every once in a while. But we had our group meet and they kept checking, hey mom, are you okay? Are you okay? Do you have power? Even after I had power, which was very kind because they were concerned, because we have a relationship. Hunter came in to get his ski clothes Friday night, and Saturday morning we were out checking all the pipes to make sure there was no bursted pipes as well. That was because we had built a relationship. In fact, Hunter had prayed for dinner Friday night, and so I was praying Saturday morning, and again, I had no idea I was going to start crying, but I started to pray for him and just how proud and how thankful. I said, thank you, God, for all. I named the things that were going on in his life. I know that had an impact, and I apologized for crying, which I shouldn't. He goes, well, Mom, that's because it came from your heart. And so I thought, well, that is true. Another thing is sacrifice. You are sacrificing yourselves. You're already doing it, but just keep pressing in. And it may sound depressing, but it's not easy, but it is definitely worthwhile. And I can tell you, it's going to take time and it's going to take years. So, biggest thing I can say for now with leadership is influencing, it is character, and it is serving. Servant leadership. Those are 3 things I hope that you will consider and think about as we go through the Life Skills Leadership Summit. Now, what I'd like to do is turn the tables. I'm going to just see it. Megan's probably been messaging me. Asked in the thread what the name of the book was that you're reading from. Since I can't get comments, she's going to write comments. It is called The World's Most Powerful Leadership Principle, How to Become a Servant Leader by James Hunter. I will put a link to that. Oh, she found the title. She posted in the thread. Great. Oh, I can't stand not being able to recognize y'all, but something's wrong. I'm hopefully figure it out before tomorrow. Okay, so that is about leadership, most powerful quality. Let's talk about the summit. Before, I'm going to talk about some different areas that will go on during the week. The first thing I want to talk about is our partner. And so our partner is Unbound Bryan College Station. And I didn't know this, but God kept laying them on my heart. And so I finally got to meet with them in January. I kept feeling like this is the partner he wanted us to have for Life Skills Leadership Summit. I knew that they were fighting against human trafficking, which I'm like, yes, this would be a great thing. The cool thing is God made it even better. They actually give classes on keeping students safe. And so they are offering to us a class on Tuesday night and on Wednesday night. On Tuesday night is for the parents. On Wednesday night is for the students, 6th grade and up, so they can get online. I totally trust them. There's some information in your members area. The state of Texas has approved it and encourages the training that they give. It is very age appropriate for the students. They usually do this just with students because they feel like when they do that with the students on Wednesday night, they're a little more open. It will be on Zoom. It will not be on Facebook. So even if for those that don't have Facebook and they're listening to me tomorrow in the members area, you can actually watch that on Zoom as well. But the title is Keeping Students Safe. It is part of our summit as well. Tuesday night is for the parents. It'll be the same time as our Facebook party. It'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then on Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern time, it will be for students 6th grade and up. Now, how does this partnership work? Let me just tell you, anyone that has bought the All Access Pass, any profit that I receive from the All Access Pass, I am donating 5% to Unbound to fight human trafficking. They have a main office here. The main office is in Waco, but they have offices here in Houston, but then they have them around the world. In our church today, they were actually showing pictures of the one in Mongolia. There are some in Southeast Asia. There's one in Africa as well. And all of it is to fight against human trafficking. Our office is sort of threefold. The part I remember the most is education, but advocacy. So when they find people that have been in human trafficking, and yes, they are in our town, they are in your town, I am sure as well. And that's what this class is about too. It's to be able to help you recognize human trafficking, to give your kids the tools to recognize it and not get caught up in it. It also is about internet. They use the internet to grab kids, and you're going to learn more about internet safety as well. So they will educate you on that as well. So 5% of my profits will be going to Unbound. We've also got some speakers that will be donating 5% of their profits as well, and I will match that 5%, so I will double their 5%, so we will really be giving 10% from that speaker. These include Kristen McTurnan, Megan Jackson, Richie Suarez, Sarah Miller, Michelle Osborne, and Jan Burt. So all of those, and I think we should be giving a shout out to them. Thank you, because they are partnering by giving some of their money as well, and I will match their donation. And at the end of probably next week, I will announce what that donation is, and we'll probably go over and give them a check. Now, Tuesday morning at our kickoff, we will be doing an interview with them because Tuesday night is the first class. So Tuesday morning, I will be doing an interview with Sunitha, who will be teaching the classes, and that'll give you an opportunity to learn a lot more about what they are doing. It will also introduce you to some of the life skills you need to be giving your kids. You need to give them training on internet safety, we live in a society that they need to recognize what's going on around them. And Unbound can give you some of those real life skill tools. And I'll be honest, please take advantage of this. Yeah, the curriculum is important, but this is your kids' life. I mean, I think their heart and their relationship with God's number one, but this is their safety as well. And sometimes kids are just naive and get caught up in something they don't even realize is going on. So those classes are on keeping kids safe, Tuesday night for parents, Wednesday night for students 6th grade and up. Now, the other thing is, and maybe Megan can put in the comment section, if she can go to lifeskillssummit.com and find the schedules pages, she'll put the link. We have daily schedules. We will be posting them each morning here in the group, but you can just go to our website and get them as well. So every day there is a schedule. Unfortunately, mine's sort of ugly. It's black and white. It's all in color and it's all pretty, but we don't have that here. So it's going to tell you the day and it'll tell you the topics. So Monday, tomorrow, we have leadership education. That's our leadership track. And this is, I think that's green. Green, yes. Then our orange one is relationships and team building. And then another color, this is teal, I think, and this is green, computer skill. Oh, I'm sorry. These are both relationships and computer skills or life skills. If you get to the bottom, you can just look at the colors. Leadership should be a teal, life skills is orange, and teen sessions is a green. And we have labeled them according to what the speakers have said they are appropriate for. Now, excuse me. Yes, I like sparkling water, and I probably shouldn't have put that in there, but that's what I picked. So now I have hiccups. Okay, so you can see every time we release, the top one will be the leadership track, and the next one will be the life skills track. So this one's the what and how, the leadership education. This is encouraging parents of teens, and that is on relationships. And yes, the next one, but we also have some like this, how to create a website by Kimberly. So that one actually is a life skills, but it's also a teenage one. And so your teens could actually watch that. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can look and see these, and you can print them out right now, and then you can circle and figure out exactly which one you want to watch. If you have the All Access Pass, you already have instant access to everything, VIP access. If you are on the basic free pass, that's still good, because what will happen is at 11 o'clock tomorrow. These are all, it says Eastern time. You'll have to figure out your time zone. So Eastern time, this will come up, these two, and they will be available for 24 hours. So they will be available until Tuesday at 11, and then they will be taken down and they will be replaced by Tuesday's 11 o'clock session. Then at 12:30, we'll release these two. They will be available till 12:30 on Tuesday, and it will continue all week long. So if you're at the free basic one, I just want you to understand how this works. I'll talk a little bit about it again tomorrow morning because I know some people will be there tomorrow that aren't here tonight. So each one of these on the free pass, in the free membership, the basic pass, it will be available for 24 hours in the members area. So if you have questions, pop them in the comments and Megan will help me answer any questions. So that is how we will talk about it. Let me just make sure we don't have any questions. Okay. Will there be replays from oh, good question. The Unbound classes, I will just tell you right now, they normally do not do replays. It's available live. But what they have said they will do, just for us, is they will leave them up for 24 hours. This is something special that they normally don't do. It is normally a live session and that's it. But what they've said is for us, they will leave it up for 24 hours and then we will take it down. So if you're interested in these Unbound sessions, you need to get on. I would highly recommend getting on the live one. Even if it's at dinner time, one of you, husband or wife, get on that parent one and pay attention. They have some important tools that I think you need. So that's live, but you at least get into it during that time. Get your kids on. I think it's important. I'll be really honest. My kids sometimes listen to someone besides me because they were listening to me all day long and they're like, clue her out sometimes. No, we're not a perfect family. And yes, my kids, we got in arguments and they bowed up at me at times, but we love each other and we would do anything for each other. So get your kids on here. Let them listen to it. They may actually listen to someone else telling them rather than you. And then you have the support from the parent class to also do that. Go through that. Okay, so any other questions? Let's see. Okay, good. I'm glad this is working with Megan. Okay, now the last thing on Monday, tomorrow, I'm so excited. And that is we have a Facebook party provided by our Platinum and Gold sponsors. And so same time as tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time, we will have a Facebook party, a 1-hour Facebook party. There'll be freebies, door prizes, giveaways, some encouragement, some time for you to interact as well. And the speakers will be there and they'll be interacting with you as well. And the sponsors obviously will be there because they're providing this. So that is one, I will say, that's one of the favorite times of our group in our community group. So there's one thing. Now, let me just take a quick little break and say, for those of you that are really concerned that you're going to miss your favorite workshop or your must-watch workshop, you can still get the all access pass. It's $29 through midnight tonight. Tomorrow, it goes up to $35. To me, that's a huge deal because, one, you've already got access to everything and you can just go watch the things in your leisure. You've got lifetime access to them. But not only that, you get our bonus package. Our bonus package is provided by all our sponsors. It is valued at $215.98. These are items that if you went to their website, you would be spending money. For instance, Abby Banks of For One More. 10 weeks of Shakespeare online course is $37. You go to her site, you're going to pay $37 right now. From Gina Mayo, Music in Our Homeschool. I want to go ahead and I'm not going to give all the dollar amounts, but I want to go ahead and read them because I want to recognize these people. They are taking out of their budget basically and providing something for free. Cultivating Your Homeschool Monthly Membership. You get a free month membership from Amber Stevens. Live Life in Homeschool. Mastering Handwriting at Any Level from Annette Breedlove in All You Do. Happiness Habits from Richie Suarez of Homeschool and Humor. Career Choices in the College Decision from Meredith Curtis of Powerline Productions. The Personal Economic Model ebook from Don Blanton of PEM Life. The Next 7 Days, a weekly prayer journal. That can be for moms or for teens. And many of these are for teens as well. From Jan L. Burt of janlburt.com. Emotion Coaching Intensive from Megan Jackson. Thank you for taking care of our comments tonight. Of Joyful Mud Puddles. Restful Tides of Thought. Renewal of the Homeschool Mom from Amy Smith of Rest in the Trench. Free mini course to create your own homeschool why from Amber Smith of In Due Season. These people are giving you something that's of great value. Now, I think the whole summit is of great value. I think if you bought one of these workshops, you'd probably spend $10 for each one of them. And so you just need to think, if you are interested in getting all of this together, it is $29 through tonight. Tomorrow it goes up to $35 as well. So just something to think about. Now, each day, I've already mentioned it, I will have a daily kickoff at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We will have some giveaways, leadership and life skills topics we'll talk about. We have some surprise bonus sessions and some updates that I will be making. Just as some of our speakers are going to go live about 1 or 1.5 hours, anywhere from a half hour to an hour and a half after their session is released. They will go in the community group and they're going to have Q&A and talk about their thing, their topic that their session is about. And so you'll need to want to jump on each morning, because I will be announcing which speakers are going to be doing live after their session. All right, another thing, and this is something you may not have spent much time on, and if Megan, if you could put the sponsor page in the comments as well. Okay, we're staying up with questions. That's good. Our sponsors have made it possible for most of you to be able to attend for free. Because of our sponsors, they are helping you have a basic free pass. So I would really like it when they pop in the community group, say thank you. You'll be seeing some posts this week about who our sponsors are. There is a page devoted to our sponsors. Please go on, and you will see in the members area tomorrow, there will be a place for you to recognize and get on and say thank you to our sponsors. Our platinum sponsors are In All You Do, Live Life Homeschool, Blue Manor Academy, PEM Life, Joyful Mud Puddles, and Beyond Personal Finance. I just want to say thank you for that. They are making a lot of things possible for you to interact here. Our gold sponsors are Powerline Productions, In Due Season, and Jan L. Burt. And IEW, Institute for Excellence in Writing. They're on the second page. Our silver sponsors are Making Room for One More, This Bit of Life, Rest in the Trench, I Choose Joy, Homeschool and Humor, and Gabby Angelina. All I can do is say thank you. Thank you for partnering with us to make this available. I can't tell you how good, the number of good comments. People are like, thank you so much for having a summit that is so specific. This is a topic I think people want to know more about. How do I give them real life skills so they're prepared? How do I prepare them for leadership skills? How do I prepare them for character skills as well? So I think it's a really important topic. And then we also have the community group. You are in the community group right now. If you have a question, feel free to pop it in there. I will ask you a favor. Please, if you are not a sponsor or a speaker, please don't put promotional post in this week. That's sort of a negative thing. I don't really want to talk about negative things. The people that can put promotional things in here are our speakers. They are our sponsors. They have paid to be represented here. And we'll be putting some things about Unbound. I'll be sharing some stories through the week about Unbound because they are our partner as well. But if you have a question about homeschooling, if you have a question about leadership or life skills, pop it in here and get some interaction. I have some people that have sent me personal questions, and you will see some of those questions popping up throughout the week, and I am reposting those just so our expert speakers, our sponsors, veteran homeschoolers can pop in. We are here to help each other. This is not like, oh, I don't want to help anyone. I am all about building relationships with you. I want to know how I can help you. And so that's one reason I popped a question in earlier today. If you could ask our speakers or our veteran homeschoolers one question about leadership skills or life skills, what would it be? Pop it in there and we'll raise it up to the top. So there will be in our community group, you can also use the post topics on the right sidebar. You may not see me doing it on the right. Anyway, those are freebies, giveaways, interact with the sponsors and the speakers. Another thing we will be doing is every day I will be posting the schedule, and on that schedule, we would like for you to leave comments about what your biggest takeaway is for that day. Out of all the sessions that we release that day, write in what are you learning, or what is your question? I didn't quite get this. You're welcome to leave it there, or you can leave it in the members area as well. The speakers will be going back and forth between those areas. And then finally, what I've already mentioned is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern time, we will be having the Facebook party that is sponsored by our platinum and gold sponsors. It is sponsored by IEW, Janelle Bird, In Due Season, Powerline Productions, Beyond Personal Finance, Joyful Mud Puddles, PEM Life, Blue Manor Academy, Live Life Homeschool, and All You Do. And I guess I should have said me, since I'm at How to Homeschool My Child. So, that is all I have. That's a lot. I do want to give out an all access pass, but I do not have access to the comments. I'm not going to be able to award that out loud right now. If you have another question, please leave it in the comments. We're going to take just a minute and see if there are any other questions. Oh, you know what I probably could do? I probably could open another Facebook tab and see what's going on. I didn't even think about that. Let's see what's going on. So maybe I can award it here. Let's see. A lot of times, but we're not really, I don't know what the problem is. And we will answer that. Leave a comment. I will choose a winner based on the comments. If you've already bought your ticket, we will refund your ticket, so don't worry about that. And let's just see where we are. There we are. Here. There we go. We got lots of comments. Okay, I can actually see this. But I don't think I can see all the comment. Oh, wait, let's see if I pop that up. Nope. Okay, I'm going to have to award this afterwards because I'm not able to do this. Will all access pass be announced? It's going to be announced. I already lost your comment. I'm having a hard time. I can't, I don't know what it is, but the all access pass will be announced as soon as I close this down and I go to the comments where I can actually see all the comments and be able to randomly choose one of them. So I apologize for that, and I want to thank you for your time. It's Sunday night. Sundays are usually family time for us. Thank you for taking 50 minutes, almost an hour out of your time. I think this is going to be a great week. If you thank you for spending time with me. I'll announce all access pass probably within about 15 minutes once I can figure out how to get to the comments and we can choose one randomly. If you have any other questions, leave a comment here, and be sure to tag Megan or me. We have Ross, me. That was one thing I should announce. Megan is been helping me with everything, and so if you have questions and I'm not answering, be sure that you comment or tag her. And Ross is not here probably tonight, but his tag is Rosinski, and he will also be maybe he is here, maybe that's a little thing here. Nope, I don't know. Anyway, he can help us with some things as well. Those are the three people, and I will tag them in a post so that you'll know who you can tag and get some information if for some reason I'm not catching it. I'm trying my best to stay on top of things, but it just not always works. Thank y'all for all your kind comments. I am Carrie Beck with How to Homeschool My Child and Life Skills Leadership Summit. Y'all have a great evening.